I have shared many videos on my channel all about decluttering tips, and in this video I really wanted to hone that down and just focus on the 5 best decluttering tips that have helped me for the past few years declutter my space and my life. I really feel like these 5 tips are the ones that have helped me out the most through my decluttering journey, so I want to share those with you today in case you are feeling a little stuck. If you like things all about decluttering and simple living, make sure you are subscribed down below. So my first tip is, if it's not a clear yes, then it's a no. Certain items are easier to declutter than others. Sometimes it's more easy to say yes really quickly to something that you know you don't want or use anymore. But then there are some things that we come across that we're iffy about. It could be a maybe or I'm not sure. And then with those things, what we do is just put them to the side and decide for what we want to do with that later. I'm all about having a maybe pile when it comes to deciding whether things should stay or go, but there are some things where I feel like you know deep down inside that you don't really love them, use them, or it brings value to your life, but you put it in the maybe pile because you're just afraid of letting it go. Decluttering is not always easy, and it's not just always a simple yes or no answer, but I do feel like deep down inside, like I said, we know for a fact that it is something that we can truly let go. So when you come to that dilemma of something that you put in a maybe pile, really, ask yourself questions to see if it's something that you really can let go. 9 times out of 10, when we put things in the maybe pile, we either don't use them, it just sits back there in our closet, in our drawers, and we just hold on to them for no reason at all. And then we'll come to it 6 months, a year later, look at it and be like, I never used this 6 months ago or a year ago. This was a maybe item. I should have let it go in the first place. In order to avoid that, try to make the decisions as clearly as possible the first time around so that you're not holding on to that item any longer than it needs to be. Have an accountability partner. So whether this is your spouse, your friend, your family, just anyone in your life that can help you just simplify and hold you accountable for letting things go, it's really going to motivate you and give you that extra push you need to get started and let things go. Having someone to hold you accountable is going to help you make the process go by a lot easier because you feel like you are supported, and it just overall will make the decision process much smoother. If for whatever reason you are in a situation where you don't have people to support you, or you can't find an accountability partner to help you with the decluttering process, then take it to social media. Record videos, post photos, post it on YouTube, Instagram, whatever platform that you use, and hold yourself accountable by just posting things for yourself. Even if no one cares or no one's going to look at it, that doesn't matter. Take the photos, take the videos for yourself. That way you can see where you started on your journey and how much stuff that you had. And then after months or years later down the line, you're able to look back and see how far you've come with the decluttering process. So if you don't have an accountability partner, be your own accountability partner. Sometimes posting for yourself on social media will influence and inspire others to do the same, and maybe even follow along and start decluttering on their own. By the way, if you have your own decluttering tips that you want to share and are by chance in the market for getting a new desk for your home, then I highly recommend you checking out FlexiSpot. You can check out their channel and win a standing desk and an Amazon gift card just by following them and sharing your own organization and decluttering tips. FlexiSpot has a ton of different variety of standing desks to choose from. They're all high quality and modern, so if you are in the market for a new desk, you can potentially be a winner and get one for yourself for free. FlexiSpot will be holding various giveaways each month, so make sure you head over to their YouTube channel and subscribe over there to learn all the details about the upcoming giveaways and also for your chance to win. Create a separation box. So I love this concept because it really does work. When it's out of sight, it's out of mind. So for example, if you come across something that you look at and you're like, well, I haven't used this in a very long time. I can't remember when the last time it was used, but I want to hold on to it and see if I could potentially use it in the future. With things like that, I recommend you grabbing some sort of box, sticking it in that box, close it up, put a date on it, and put it away. If you find yourself one day looking for this item, then obviously you know it's in the box. You're gonna go into the box, pull it out and use it, and then you'll know that it's something that you should keep. But otherwise, if you put this box away for a certain period of time and then open it up 6 months, a year later, and you're like, well, I've never used it during this past year, so I think it's time to let it go. This is a great method for those people that struggle a little bit with decluttering. Just by putting things away and having them out of sight, out of mind, sometimes we forget that we even have certain things. If you don't miss the item that you put in the box, then it probably can be donated or let go. Sometimes we hold on to certain things because we want to use them in the future, or we think that we will need it in the future, but sometimes we don't really need them. So this box is a great way for you to figure out if it's something that you truly need. And if you do, then it can stay. And if you haven't used it in a while, then you know it's time to let it go. Aim for small decluttering tasks every week. Instead of setting aside a time for a huge decluttering project, I found it to be much easier when I broke it down into small decluttering tasks. As soon as I come across something that I know can be tossed out right away, I will do it right away. I'm not gonna put it to the side and hold on to it for months, because I know that for a fact it has to be out of my house and it can be donated, recycled, whatever the case may be, and there's no reason for me to hold on to it, so I just do it right then and there instead of holding on to it. By doing these small decluttering tasks, like let's say once a week, it's going to really help reduce that clutter in your home, reduce that inventory, and eventually you will not need to have set aside a whole day to do a massive decluttering project. If that's one thing that I've learned with decluttering my parents' hoarder garage, as a lot of you probably have seen, is that that's what happens when you don't set aside any time to declutter, whether it's, like I said, once a week or every single day. If that was something that my parents had done and decluttered step by step, taking small steps to declutter, then the garage probably wouldn't have been as bad as it was. When you don't do small decluttering tasks over time, the pile gets large, clutter attracts clutter, and it just accumulates more and more. Even though I personally have fun with big decluttering projects, it's not always easy physically, mentally, emotionally to let stuff go when it's a big project like that. In fact, it can make it even harder. So by taking even 10 minutes once a week during your busy schedule and going through a drawer, a closet, or something that you can just take a few minutes of your time to see what you can get rid of, it's going to make a huge difference in your home. I kind of briefly touched upon this in the last tip, but be in the constant state of decluttering. Let's say one day you are trying on a pair of jeans and you're like, well, this one doesn't fit anymore, or I don't like how this looks or feels. Donate it, get rid of it right away. Don't hold on to it for whatever reason, whether it was expensive, I might fit into this one day. I strongly suggest you to just let it go right then and there. Our brains are not used to being in that state of decluttering, but just like with anything, it takes training. You gotta train your brain to learn to recognize when it's time to let things go. It's so easy to put things back when we're using them or when we're done using them and not thinking about long term and if it's something that it's going to work in the future for us, and we just have a habit of holding on to things. But once you are in that constant state of decluttering, as soon as you come across something and knowing for a fact that it can be gone, that is really going to help you with your decluttering process and your journey. For myself, since I've been decluttering for 4 years now, that constant state of decluttering has gotten so much easier over time. Now I don't even have to think about it. It just comes naturally to me. I can come across something like some lotion and be like, oh, I forgot about this. I don't really like how it smells. I was never a big fan, so why am I holding on to this? It's time to let it go, donate it to someone who might actually use it, and just be done with it. Again, this is something that takes years of practice, but trust me, it gets easier along the way. So those are my top 5 favorite decluttering tips that have really helped me simplify my life, and I hope that you guys found it helpful and can help you simplify your life as well. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!